And these are the things that I encountered as a new trader in the 90s, where I felt that support and resistance was a trick. Like it didn't work. I couldn't make it work. Just like trend lines. Everybody can find the perfect trend line after the fact. But the key is knowing what you're looking for when the chart's alive and breathing and creating the candles. That's the difficult part. And that's why knowing the higher time frame levels and putting them on your higher time frame charts, and then using that when you're looking at your lower time frame, like 15-minute here or even a 5-minute chart, it gives you such a degree of perception that you can't really appreciate. And right away, some of you are smiling and nodding your head like, man, I have been wasting all this time, because if I just would have said the things you give in the commentary and applied them to my chart, and when I looked at my lower time frame charts, I would be seeing these things. Yes, yes, that's what I've been trying to tell you all this time. All these years I've been telling you to do it, but it strips you of that aha moment, and that's what I want everyone in here to have. So for the most part, it still can happen, but you have to be careful not to look at my chart before you have yours done. And then right away, it'll get you up to speed quicker. It's not meant to rush you through the mentorship. It's just meant to get you thinking more about involving yourself in your own study, being interactive with your charts, and then comparing and contrasting what I see as salient in price versus what you're looking at. Now, as you go through each month, even those that have become charter members, as you go through the content again, which is what you should be doing, you should be absolutely going through the content again. No one learns this going through the mentorship 1 or 2 times. But Michael, that's a lot of videos. Yes. It's almost 3 decades. What do you think's still coming? It's a whole lot more information. And it'll be easier for you to digest that if you go through the motions of going like this last group, but you have the most insight. So you'll be able to glean more insight from going through it again. And with the new way of presenting these commentaries, you'll fill in your gaps that you still have a lot faster and a lot more efficiently than the new group, because they're going to have that whole discovery period too. They're going to have that don't know what I'm looking at. This is too much information. You went through it too. So, and if you're new and you're going through this, just know that you are going to get a tsunami of information, and it's not meant to disorient you. It's not a quick fix, hurry up and try to learn it all, because you're not going to. But you subscribe to this to be able to be a market wizard, if you will. You want to be able to look at the markets, any asset class, any time frame, decipher what it is, what it's going to do next, and have a 90% likelihood of being on side versus being offside. In other words, being on the right side of the marketplace. Now, notice I did not say 90% profitable. Okay, there's very specific terms that I avoid using here because of legality. Okay, if you do the work I'm telling you to do, I promise you what you want to do, you will have the skill set to do. And you fill in the blanks as what that means for you. Because I promise you, it will be available to you in your own skill and experience. But what you put into it determines your outcome and the results while you're here. Okay, so, and it's not a hurry up and quick fix, get me rich fast, show me how to learn how to trade in 6 weeks, or, boot camp. Okay, that stuff doesn't work. Nobody goes through short-term teachings and all of a sudden now they're a market maven. It doesn't happen. Believe me, it does not happen. Because I would have been corrected and shown by thousands of different yahoos out there that have pretended that that's true and sell courses and such. They can't beat me, and their students can't beat me. So, again, it's not an ego thing. I'm just telling you, just look at it for what it is. Because if they have the skills that they pretend to have, they would be able to do the things that you see me doing, and they don't. But you're going to be able to do these things. And once you have that skill set, no one can take it from you. But it's not going to come overnight. And every day, you grow a little bit more. You whittle away at the rough edges, sand out some patches of rough ideas and understanding, and every day you get closer and closer, and that rough corner becomes smooth over time. And then over more time, you use a finer grade of sandpaper, and it doesn't feel as much change is occurring, but it is, and you're really smoothing out those minor little imperfections. And over time, you do more and more and more of that, and finally you have a real smooth real smooth edge to everything. And you're not cutting yourself just being the analyst, hurting yourself. You're able to be fluid in any time frame, any asset class, any market. It's just an empowerment that I can't really articulate. But if you don't do what I'm showing you here, there's one absolute result. You will not learn what you came here for. Just know that, and you'll see if you go back and look at the other commentaries, I'm not doing what you're going to see me doing in this year anywhere else in any other mentorship. Like I haven't done this. So I'm making it available to you so that way you can compare and contrast. So that way it'll get you closer to the market. You'll be more in tune with what's likely to happen next. But I'm not giving you trades. Okay, it's important to know that. But you'll see how the markets move and work off of these levels going forward. And more specifically, why they did what they did in the past. So I'm blending both of what you need to find in the marketplace that's salient, that leads to future price moves, that helps you with your prognostication. That's not a sales pitch to make sure I get 6 payments from you at least, okay? Because clearly, if this doesn't match up with what you think you're going to be able to endure, then just don't go to month 2, okay? Because it just gets more detail, more work, more effort on your part, and it's a lot of study. But the people that go through it can see why I do what I do and how I can call the markets. And the things that led me to that is the things that you're learning. And there is no shortcut to it. There is no, ICT doesn't teach good. He talks too much. Other people take his concepts and they teach it better. No, the only thing they're doing is they're taking people right to a chart that has nothing to do with live trading. They're not taking a trade. They're talking about what's already happened, and they're being fooled by hindsight. Just like everybody feels when they read books. Think about it. When you buy a book or bought a book, you read it and you see the examples. You're like, oh man, this is going to be so, I can't wait till Monday. I'm going to start trading. And how's that work out for you? You can be fooled by that stuff. And that's what these shucksters are doing. They're out there scamming people. And if you can't see what's going to happen, like why aren't they doing it with live charts? Like record your stuff. They're making recordings. Talk about what's going to happen in the live chart in that recording. But none of them ever do that. You're going to learn how to do that skill set. You're going to be able to look at the chart as it's alive and breathing and forming the candles before it even moves to these levels. You are learning how to see it before it happens. You don't need to have trickery. You don't need to have any of these hindsight hero stuff. You're going to know exactly what it is that you're looking for in the chart. And when it forms, you're going to know what it means and how to engage with it. The markets are open. That means I got to be trading. No. Okay. You're not trading just for the sake of trading. You want to be in high probability setups. And for those that are watching this, that are in the new group, they're not able to watch this video until they start coming in on the 27th of January. But I'm sure you'll be watching this video eventually. And I want to remind you all that